Foggy, 1836. Edinburgh cityscape, narrow stone streets, old buildings, dim lantern light, smoke hanging in the air, Gothic atmosphere, muted colors, cinematic wide shot, historical realism, moody lighting. Group of poor young boys walking outside Edinburgh, worn 19th century clothing, carrying simple hunting tools, rolling hills in the distance, overcast sky, sense of innocence before danger, cinematic realism. Boys chasing a rabbit across a rocky hillside, motion blur, tall grass, broken stone walls, cloudy sky, dynamic action shot, natural lighting, historical setting. Small dark cave opening hidden by rocks and weeds on a hillside, mysterious and ominous, soft shadows, cinematic framing, eerie mood. Boy throwing a stone into a dark cave, frozen motion, tense moment, shallow depth of field, dramatic lighting, suspenseful atmosphere. Boys standing at cave entrance peering inside, darkness ahead, expressions of curiosity and fear, cinematic lighting, high detail interior of cave, revealing tiny wooden coffins half buried in dirt. Dim light entering cave, eerie stillness, Gothic horror tone, ultra-detailed boys nervously laughing inside cave. Forced smiles, turning to fear, shadows dancing on cave walls, cinematic tension, neatly arranged small wooden coffins in rows, careful placement, dust and age visible, symbolic framing, horror realism. Close-up of counting hands pointing at coffins, dramatic shadows, slow realization, suspenseful composition. Extreme close-up of tiny coffins. Wood grain visible, aged texture, unsettling stillness, cinematic horror lighting. Detailed view inside coffin, showing small wooden human figure, arms crossed, lifeless pose, haunting realism. Close-up of carved wooden faces and tiny cloth clothing, handmade details, sorrowful tone, high detail macro shot. Boys frozen in fear inside cave, wide eyes, pale faces, dramatic shadows, psychological horror mood. Boys running downhill toward Edinburgh, motion blur, panic, dark clouds overhead, cinematic urgency, crowd of townspeople climbing hillside toward cave, mixed expressions of fear and curiosity, historical clothing, overcast light. Villagers gathered around cave entrance, whispering, fearful faces, torchlight, Gothic atmosphere. Close-up of confused and frightened townspeople examining coffins, hands covering mouths, dramatic lighting, symbolic image of unanswered questions, coffins in darkness, single beam of light, mystery tone, villagers arguing and whispering about witchcraft, fearful expressions, candlelight, superstition atmosphere, imagined witchcraft symbolism, overlaying coffins, shadowy figures, ritualistic mood, dark fantasy realism, lonely sailor carving small coffins by candlelight, theory image, sorrowful expression, emotional lighting, 17 coffins emphasized in symmetrical layout, haunting stillness, symbolic framing, hidden cave entrance at dusk, secrecy and silence, cinematic wide shot, coffins displayed behind glass in a museum setting, aged wood, quiet reverence, soft lighting, time passing visual, fading image of coffins dissolving into darkness, historical mystery tone, transition to 1820s, Edinburgh, crowded streets, medical buildings, grim atmosphere, historical realism, anatomy, classroom, with doctors studying diagrams, hunger for knowledge, dim lighting, moral tension. Grave robbers digging at night, lantern light, fresh grave, foggy cemetery, dark crime atmosphere, families guarding graves with iron cages, mourning clothing, fear and grief, cinematic realism. Two shadowy men watching from distance, plotting, sinister mood, low light. Portrait of William Burke and William Hare, 19th century clothing, neutral expressions with hidden menace, dramatic lighting, Burke and Hare drinking in tavern, blending in, warm candlelight, deceptive normalcy, boarding house interior, poor tenants resting, dim room, vulnerability, realistic detail, lonely travelers and beggars entering boarding house, night scene, ominous mood, Burke and Hare selling a wrapped body to a doctor, secrecy, low light, tension-filled composition, close-up of money exchanging hands, moral corruption symbolism, dark thought moment, Burke and Hare in shadow, realization dawning, sinister lighting, victims drinking alcohol in boarding house, false safety, warm lighting, hiding danger, murder scene implied, non-graphic, hands covering mouth, struggle in shadows, intense psychological horror, lifeless body laid out carefully, no visible injuries, chilling calm, bodies delivered to anatomy hall, cold professionalism, moral darkness, Dr. Robert Knox receiving body, detached expression, candlelit room, montage-style image of disappearing people, fading silhouettes, haunting symbolism, growing suspicion in neighborhood, neighbors watching boarding house, tense atmosphere, police arresting Burke and Hare, dramatic confrontation, torchlight, historical realism, Hare betraying Burke, accusatory gesture, emotional tension, execution of William Burke, non-graphic, gallows silhouette against sky, somber mood, Burke's body on anatomy table, poetic justice symbolism, cold lighting, William Hare disappearing into foggy street, mystery, unresolved fate, return to the tiny coffins, slow zoom, renewed mystery, researchers examining coffins with tools, modern lighting, historical artifacts, close-up of wood, grain analysis, scientific detail, discovery moment, reveal of 17 coffins emphasized, dramatic lighting, shock moment, symbolic extra coffin highlighted, unsettling composition, anonymous figure carving tiny coffin at night, hidden face, candlelight, guilt, and sorrow, imagined burial without bodies, empty graves, emotional symbolism, tiny coffins arranged gently, peaceful yet tragic tone. Each coffin glowing softly in darkness, representing a life lost. Unknown person carrying coffins into cave at night. Secrecy, cinematic silhouette. Cave sealed by darkness. Silence, finality. Final wide shot of 17 coffins fading into black, haunting stillness. Legacy of truth.